happy 2021. I know everybody feels like they're so reluctant to wish anybody a happy new year because this previous year has been so bad and everybody's expectations are so low, which honestly I'm kind of confused by. Our expectations should be high. We should have good expectations for the life that we get to live, even during some of some of the most tremendous, chaotic, stressful, fearful year of probably all of our lives. So with that, I'm sending everybody blessings. I know it's been hard on everybody. I don't think anybody doesn't have a story to share. What I want to talk about today, and I'm always a little reluctant because I think who would even want to hear what I have to say, but I was encouraged by my fiance, which I'm happy to share. I never thought that I would be able to find love or have love in my life after losing Scott, who was in my life for 35 years. But I am very happy to say that I have found somebody who really supports me in my process, in my life, and has encouraged me to start to share about how I get to manage some of life's chaos. So I used to journal quite a bit when I was a little girl. Took years off when the kids, having 5 kids under the age of 5 was very a lot of work. But after Scott passed away, my son gave me a 5-minute grateful journal, and I found myself some days having a hard time figuring out what that was, how I even write in this journal. Breathing probably was the first 3 days. I was just happy to be breathing. But as it evolved, I realized that there was something for me about putting pen to paper. I didn't think about the words. I didn't think about the thoughts. It was just went from here to the paper. And a lot of times I didn't even go back and read it. That has evolved into my journal today. This one was started in May. I create the month. I kind of played with different ideas. This was my finances, my weekly calendars. I would do quotes in here. I journal every morning. This is my time with this app. It's called the Bible app. I would encourage you all to look at it, download it. If you're just starting to discover if you want to have a relationship with God, it's a good place to start. But I get to do daily plans. In the beginning, when I started, a lot of my plans were about grieving, but now my plans have expanded into what I can do to raise my teenage daughter, how I can give her the tools to dealing with the pandemic, but I love it. Every month I do just a pretty page. These are all done by me. I give some time. This one is love is how I feel and things that I want to do in my relationship. Blessings today, what a beautiful day. I can do this when I'm bored. It goes on and on. Dates to remember, birthdays. I feel like not only as I got older, but especially during those grieving years, I felt like I was always going to forget. That was my biggest fear, that I wouldn't be able to remember a bill that needed to get paid or something that had to get done. So, or for the Blowout Lounge to make things, I remember when I first started the Blowout Lounge, I felt like I could remember everything during the day. Oh, that client I have to book, I have to finish that, I have to clear that off the books. And then after Scott, I just felt so foggy all the time. So this has been just such a gift to me, not only creating these pages, but going back and being able to read my thoughts or my worries. I give myself some prayers to think about for the month. Every month I have this was my Christmas list this year, bringing joy into this year, especially since it was so hard. But some of these pages, I look back and I'm just so grateful. This was my December. But it's been just such a blessing to me. And the books that I buy, I've already got my new book for this year. I've already started. These are my goals, my goal page. One is family, me, finance, create, work, just saying trust in life. But I'm really excited to get started. Happy New Year, 2021. So this is my January page. But I have sets of pens that I use. It's just, I sit down, Faith and I, she has her journal, so every month we sit down and we kind of create our theme for the month. But it's been such a blessing to me. The ones I get are by Orchard and Olive. They come with blank pages and dots. This is how it looks. And then you get to just fill it in with creativity and thoughts and prayers. So one of the things that I wrote on one of my last pages, I want to just share a little bit of it with you, if I can see my own writing. Basically it says, as I look back on my journaling, my first thought is, I'm so happy I put pen to paper. I don't think I'll ever regret that. My words, my thoughts, my growth in my spiritual life as a survivor of great loss, grieving, but also letting love in. Starting with my relationship with God. My Father, He's my ultimate protector, my guidance counselor, my soft place to land. After 54 years, I realize I am His daughter first. My relationship with God is the most important relationship for me. Second, I'm not defined by life's hardships. I hope that sinks in for some of us, because especially after this year with illness and people passing away prematurely, it's just always something that it's easy for us to hold on to and to carry. And so I would just encourage you to explore that there's things that we carry and things that we have to work through, but not things that have to define us as a person. So as I kind of move down, I'll skip some of it, but one of the things going back through my journal throughout this year, there was a few takeaways that I want to bring into the 2021. First is, for God has not given us the spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline. Our love should not only be shown in words, but in our actions. Have confidence. God will deposit hope in us, and don't let the world define your faith. Focus on the goal, not on the struggle. Be confident in your ability to succeed. I think that's really important. See the end of the road, not always all the little details. One thing I remember was a song by Alison Krauss. It was after my son had passed away and my kids were diagnosed with a fatal disease. And it said to not see the tree, but to see the forest. And I knew that that's what God had intended for me. I didn't want to see all the big obstacles of the trees in front of us, but I needed to focus on the forest, and that's the big picture. Pay attention to your feelings. Strengthen yourself as you recognize how amazing it is to feel so deeply, to love so strongly, and to live with purpose and destiny. When life becomes unmanageable, I need to go to God's word to find direction. God tells me my words are seeds. These seeds are planted in my life, and my future harvest are my words and my actions today. Ask yourself, who am I? Where am I now? What do I want? Who are the people that I want to journey with? Stop hovering 10 feet above your dream. Super important. Do an inventory of your capabilities and your fears that have held you back. Don't wait. There's something exciting about the planning, about the process. Make an 8th day of the week and call it start day. I love that. I stole that from somebody, I don't know, but hashtag start day. Let's do that. For I know the plans I have for you, plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and hope. Jeremiah 29. So I don't know if any of this hits home for you. I would say we all have a process that we work through to get through the unmanageable times of our life. For me, it's the words on a page. So I hope this blesses you, and I hope that for all of us, we don't lower our expectations for the new year to come, and that we give ourselves some things to dream about and to look forward to, pray for our leaders, and in hopes that for all of us, the future will be better. Thank you.